You're listening to Chillmonger. Welcome. The Wakanda Forever movie that came out in November, the film that decided to end the top grossing black superhero that's ever happened and just say it's more about the mental. You can watch somebody else be Black Panther and it'll be just as fine. Wasn't fine. Deadline, they did what they did with Black Adam, where they got to show you the box office, how much this movie has profited when you consider everything related to this movie. So we'll start with the expenses because I want to read it backwards from the way they presented it. It just makes more sense. You'll see what I mean. The production cost of this movie was 200 million. The prints and the ads was 140. Video cost, residuals, interest, and overhead participants. You get to 491 United States dollars to produce Wakanda Forever. So how much money needs to be recuperated for this movie to break even? 491. That's a big number to make. 491. Let's jump up to now to the box office. After the domestic and the international and China, unfortunately, China only made 16 million. Remember that they didn't actually release on opening weekend. They released like on February. The first movie made 105 million in China. This movie made 16. When you include all of that box office, 859 million. I have been told so much by so many people. 859 million, Chillmonger. That's enough. That's enough to actually make profit, Chillmonger. You don't understand. How could you be crapping on that just because it didn't make what the first movie made, which is $1.3 billion in its original release. This movie that had T'Challa in it, where they didn't kill the main character and say this movie's about other people primarily. That movie made so much money, but don't worry, just because that made much, 800 is still a thumbs up job. Way to go, Disney and Marvel. Profitable film. Shut your mouth, Chillmonger. Da is what I was been getting. According to the math provided from Deadline, these guys have said that the movie only grossed a theatrical revenue of 425. Now let's rewind to what this actually means. 491 was the expense of this film. 425 is how much. Where is it? 25 is how much it grossed when you consider that out of this 859, the movie theaters take a cut. Marvel got 425 when it was said and done. Roughly, they're estimating. 425 is a smaller number than 491. The expenses. They have other sources of income that are not just the 425. One of them I want to skip to down here is the television and the streaming. They made $170 million. That's pretty fishy, considering that the streaming service that they went to wasn't Netflix. They didn't go streaming and say you can get this on Amazon Prime or streaming on these other services. The streaming service was in-house. There is a revenue source that is missing from that first movie. That first movie was prior to Disney Plus. It was Netflix. You give us money and we'll license it out to you for what, 2 years? You want Black Panther for 2 years? Here you go. There's an exchange of money there, and the movie gets to profit more. Now I'm just talking about the theatrical release, which 425 is not as much as 491, but the 170 is also suspicious. Let's read what Deadline had to say about that. Their bottom line, they say that the global streaming and the TV revenues of 170 include what Disney paid itself to put the movie on Disney Plus. Simply does not count. This is The Rock's math when The Rock was trying to get this out to Deadline and feed them information like, no. We made money after the box office. It was about the home video and the streaming, even though HBO Max and Warner Brothers and DC are the same family of money. It's just money from one pocket to another. Pretend Wilson right here. This is Disney. So Disney went into Disney's pocket and they put it into, see these pants here? This is Marvel. And they put it into the Marvel pockets. That was the exchange. This movie was not a profitable film based off of the box office. There's numbers, go fight to Deadline. They killed the main character. It's not they did a movie without the main character and they said he'll be back. They killed it. He's not going to be in Black Panther 3. Shuri's brother is gone, according to the fiction of this movie. Now, they could reverse. They could always say, no, we didn't see the body. You just saw a coffin fly up. Man, that could have been a Skrull faking a death because T'Challa needed to go covert undercover. There's a lot of ways that you can work yourself out of the situation. Before the movie came out, you could have even said that, yeah, they're sad T'Challa died, but it's that blip when Thanos snapped his fingers, T'Challa turned to dust, and that's why everyone's sad in their mourning. T'Challa would return later on. Could have done a lot of things and they chose not to do a lot of things. That is the movie. That is the reality. That is the box office gross. I've been Showmonger. Go watch me talk to other people like Rose Alice Comics, which we're going to be doing Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Check that out.